Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyazibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows. Siyaphinda futhi sikhulume ngama-celebrities kanye nama-YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. Listen, today we are going to talk about Ntando, Mrs. Ambition from Real Housewives of Durban. She is the OG of the show, you guys. She was in season 1, season 2. She's also in season 3, okay? Some of us did not understand why they have chosen Annie to come back in season 3, because of course I was one of those people that felt like she didn't share a lot when it came to her life, and also she was mean, okay? She was mean, and there were moments where I felt like she was bullying the others. I felt like she was bullying don't go at some points, and I feel like she was bullying Ulasi at some point. So, but you guys, you know, there's always a villain sometimes on these reality shows, and sometimes in being a villain you are able to keep your spot on the show, and I think that's what Annie has been able to do, you guys. So this season Annie is attempting to basically share a little bit more about her life, and I appreciate it, you guys, because if you've been on 3 seasons of a reality show and we still don't know much about your life, there is no need for you to keep coming back for more seasons on the show. So each season we have to learn a little bit more about you. If we are not, then you know you need to go. This is the same thing that happened with Ulasi. You know, if they were not willing to give Ulasi another a chance based on the fact that she wasn't willing to share a lot about her life, then why would they give the chances to Annie, for an example? So I guess this is her attempt at giving us a little bit more of her life, you guys. So one of the things that she did this episode of Real Housewives of Durban season 3 episode 2 is that she got to share a little bit more about this medical condition that she has that I wasn't aware of, and apparently people were aware of. I was surprised that I didn't actually pay attention to this particular thing, and I think that it's because I'm not somebody that really focuses on looks a lot, you know, and I didn't see this one, you guys, and for other people it's been something that has been really obvious when it comes to Annie, you guys. I do think that part of the reason that Annie has come out to share this story is a way for her to explain herself, you guys, because of course she has been attacked a lot online because of her bully tendencies and how mean she is on the show. So I feel like in sharing this story, it's like this is Annie saying, listen, this is the reason I am the way that I am. You know, these are the experiences that I've had growing up, and this is what I'm dealing with right now, and maybe if I share this story you can understand me a little bit more and understand why I am the way that I am. And I feel like there is the attempt on her part, but I am hoping that in Annie sharing this story, she is not hoping that we will move away from wanting to know more about her family and wanting to know more about her marriage, because at the end of the day this is the real housewives of Durban, and we do want to know what is happening with your marriage, okay? And this is something that this franchise has not been able to do when it comes to these housewives, the ones that are married, you guys, because we do want to know, is that relationship going well? Is it still couple goals like it used to look like? Because right now it doesn't look that way, but we don't know what's going on. So it also might be an attempt to say, listen, I will give you this, but I'm not gonna give you a lot on my marriage, and maybe that's a way for her to protect her marriage, which she has a right to do, okay? So you guys, I'm going to go through this article that is written by Ukama Daile for Zimoja. She's talking about what happened in this episode of Real Housewives of Durban. So it says that Real Housewives of Durban star Ntando opens up about the neurological disorder and bullying, okay? Listen, you guys, I was surprised to hear Annie that even because I think she shared that story in season 2 too, that she was bullied. I was surprised that she had gone through that experience, because it's not all the time that somebody that has been bullied becomes a bully, because a lot of the times you know what it feels like to be bullied, and you don't want another person to experience that. So for her to develop that defense mechanism of I will bully you before you bully me. It's a surprise to me that she has chosen that. I'm not even sure that she is aware that she appears to be a bully too to the others. I don't know, you guys. So it says she has constantly been bullied, mocked, and teased on social media for her unique fashion sense and her creative lifestyles. Listen, you guys, I don't know why people have an issue with Annie's fashion. I think I like Annie's fashion, you guys. I really do. I think I like a dress, her style. But I guess people have an issue with it. At red carpet events, people would criticize how Real Housewives of Durban star Annie Mdletshe owns a salon but fails to get her own hair right, okay? And how her eyelashes are never aligned. There's even an account on Twitter called Annie Mdletshe's eyelash. Okay. Is the heat causing Annie's lashes to misbehave? One viewer asked. Any cock eye, or are her lashes too big for her face? Said another. What the F is up with Annie's eye? It looks weird as hell. You guys, the thing about, like social media, there is no... People are not sensitive at all when it comes to social media, because the minute you realize that physically there is something off about somebody's look, then you are supposed to refrain from making comments about it, because you don't know what's going on. In real life, I wouldn't just meet Annie and say, Annie, what's wrong with your eye? I'll probably wait until she explains herself, or if I'm close and I'm her friend, like I'm a close friend, then maybe I would ask. But you wouldn't just meet somebody that you don't know and be like, oh my God, there's something weird about your eye. You look, it looks weird. Because you don't know what's going on, it might be something serious. But social media gives people a right to just say whatever, and this is what they've done with her. And I imagine it's been a hard thing for her to deal with for 2 whole seasons. Okay, she often appears thick-skinned and can take the hits, but Annie says the negativity often gets to her. It definitely has gotten to Annie. She has changed so much. I think her energy is different. Sometimes it feels off. This season we've only watched 2 episodes, and I already feel like she's just like dealing with a lot. Okay, but there might be other things that are going on that we don't know about, but I feel like it has definitely affected her, the bullying online. Okay, in the recent episode of Real Housewives of Durban, Annie opens up about suffering from Bell's palsy, a neurological disorder that causes weakness in one side of the face. This has been the reason for Annie's lazy eye and her eyelashes looking off. Okay, with Bell's palsy, one of the nerves that control muscles in your face becomes injured or stops working properly, and the symptoms are noticeable through a sudden weakness or a paralysis on one side of your face, or drooping eyebrows and mouth. Okay, my eye keeps giving me a lopsided face effect, and when I get tired my eye falls. Annie says my face is uneven because I had something called Bell's palsy, and all muscles and face gets paralyzed on one side. Annie said she had it during her first pregnancy. I feel so uncomfortable about it because people are always asking, what's wrong with your face or your eye? Okay. Growing up in the UK, Annie says she was bullied badly. They would hit me over the head with umbrellas and do anything to get at me. They attacked me for such a long time, and I would go into my own space because I was alone and not accepted. During lunchtime, I would sit by myself and read a book. Annie tells Zimoja that she felt it was important to share the experience because she had a lot of people comment on it for the last 2 or 3 years that she had been on the Real Housewives of Durban. It makes me very self-conscious, and I thought I would just open up and say what happened to me. She says a lot of people suffer from Bell's palsy, and there is no medication that can right your face, no any cure. Some people never recover. It's all about having to rebuild the muscles in your face, and that can take years of physio. Annie says the negative criticism does not get to her, and she has had to does get to her, okay, and she has had to seek therapy. I definitely am not immune to what people say about me. She says it used to trigger me quite badly. This is why I went out and sought therapy to assist me with coming to terms with my past hurt, and to also have a better perspective on the backlash I get from social media. Listen, you guys, I understand the issue of her having a difficulty with this condition. I think this is a condition that would be difficult to deal with, not being on any TV show, and to have to be on screen and have to deal with it, and having to deal with social media as well. It's I imagine that it's very difficult. Being on reality TV shows is not an easy thing, you guys. I've heard people even talk about, in some reality shows, you are even offered psychological help even before your first episode is premiered, because they have to prepare you mentally for the backlash that you get once you appear on screen. It's not as easy as you think, and honestly, people that are on reality shows basically sacrifice their lives for our entertainment, because they don't even make as much money as we think that they make. So the backlash that they have to deal with is not worth the money, to be honest, and it is for our entertainment, because not only do we watch them on TV, after watching them we attack them as well. So it is a lot, okay? So I'm glad that Annie has taken steps to go to therapy. I honestly, like I said on my other video, that I do want the old Annie to come back. I really feel like it's off this season, and I do feel like I'm missing something, because I didn't even realize that I liked her the way that she was, Annie. I don't want her to be mean and bullying people, but I do want her to have that energy that she had, in the first season. So I do hope that in her going to therapy, she's going to gain some of her old self back, improved. Okay, so you guys, that's all that I wanted to talk about today. Tell me what you think about Annie this season, what she's dealing with, what she has dealt with. Do you even understand the fact that she grew up being bullied and now she appears to be a bully herself? Are we misunderstanding her on the show? Whatever that you think about this whole story, please put it in the comment section. Please like the video before Pumegiona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.